Hello. I'm back once again with another stream. And because it is Wednesday, we are doing Derail Valley. And last time we ended up in a little bit of a cliffhanger right before we left off on Lost Leg to the museum to drop the Demonstrators off. So right now we're gonna do that. Hopefully find the DE2 because it's just magically lost somewhere. Yeah. That's pretty much. And once we're there, we're probably gonna take more jobs to earn money to actually restore them, because that's gonna take a lot of money. So let's get into it then. I'm here with Obsidian 266, also known as Jim. Say hello again.
Hello.
I also have chips.
Unhealthy.
So you have nothing to say about what's healthy or not. You ate like 24 rolls of Mentos within like 3 days.
When I sent that to Yoran, he actually calculated how many I ate, and he came to 40 per day.
Yeah, that ain't healthy.
I would like to point out that is inaccurate because I gave one of them to my brother, like one of the rolls.
All right, let's see. We have we have that. How much money do we have? 42 grand. Oh, this is gonna suck.
Wait, is that real?
No, there isn't. There's not a handbrake applied. So we're gonna cause wheel slip.
Does my car still have a fog slider?
I don't know.
And can you actually set it to Silent Hill? Like, that's just what it's called? Okay, that's funny. I might play Silent Hill at some point. Like, I'm not really interested in shooters, but it seems interesting. Well, mostly the symbolism that I've seen in it. I don't think I'm gonna care for the gameplay actually.
Yeah, we're now the front is aiming south. No, wait, we came from. Here we go. Flashlight is full. Steel mill. I guess I have to go that way. I have to go forward. But no. Hey, where did I enter? I think I have to go that way. Or didn't I Y myself already? I'm just gonna go off the throttle to save fuel. That is that, so I'm gonna have to move forward here. I did Y myself. Yeah, I did because I had to launch that, yeah. Let me turn that. Are we even going to be able to move forward here? No, it might be a smart idea. Get the second one involved because now we have the resources for it. Like, how many tons am I actively pulling? We are pulling a 41 plus 50 plus, so that's like 175. 285 plus 10, 295. We're pulling like 320 here. Like 320 tons of just scrap locomotive. And I'm going to be pushing 2 DE2s to its limit. To their limits because they need that. Those were set correctly. I'm just gonna have to power through up the hill and then down through coal mine south. Just to go to the museum and pick a load there to drive somewhere because we need the money. 42, like just under 42,000 is not enough to even get one of the demonstrators bought. I'm gonna gather as much speed as possible so I can just ram it up the hill. Yeah, it's not here. It is also not here by the looks of it. I know I've looked here before, but I just want to make sure it's probably near like the entrances of a station. Alright, that's at the straight already. First becomes plus 0.6. Then it gets worse, like it starts at bad and it slowly tapers down. Which is why I like this hill better than all the others, because the other ones just... Especially out the harbor, it's like, oh yeah, it's a little bit steep. Now it's very steep. Alright, 1.8. If I can get up this 1.8 without stalling completely. As you can see, I'm already losing speed. If I add another notch of throttle to it. Ooh, more amps. Because I think there it's like 1.3 already. So it gradually becomes less steep. For all of this. Rain that's behind me. Alright, we're doing 40. I think we're still slowly slowing down. We want to go left, straight, right. Or left, left, right. First signal... Wait, I can check that with this map. We want to go left... Left... These ones, both these ones need to go... This one needs to go right. Right, I think I said it correctly now. Also, if you may notice, I do sound a little bit sick because I was. Like, I did my stream Friday evening. Then I woke up Saturday morning with a massive headache. Not fun at all. And after that, took the entire weekend to get better, and yeah, it's still not fully, but close enough so that I can just do whatever I want again instead of suffering from being sick. I guess. I mean, what I do is just eat something, drink something, just so you have something in your body, because you need the energy.
Maybe you shouldn't speak if your throat is dying.
My throat is only like, it's not dying anymore. Not like Friday.
I will speak for you.
No, I don't trust you. I'm not gonna trust you with that.
Why
I trust you with a couple of things, but not with that.
Why not? What's
Take a
the worst
wild-
I could do?
Take a wild guess.
The worst I could do is read that first story I wrote.
Yeah, I like my... The thing is, right? Between us two, I'm the only one that is affiliated on any platform.
True.
Speaking of... Which means that I have some risk.
Technically, I was affiliated on DeviantArt for like a month because someone gifted me that. Don't know why they did that.
That is more of a membership. They didn't earn money from it.
Yeah, you can.
Huh.
I didn't. I chose not to, but you can.
But also, I looked at the Twitch ads, how those are how those work, and maybe seeing if I can get like ads entirely turned off. But sadly, I'm unable to turn ads off completely. All I'm capable of doing is what I have right now, is play as little ads as possible, which is, I think, like a 30-second ad every hour. It's a bit sad, honestly, but... And also then you get pre-roll ads. If you want to disable pre-roll ads, you have to run a minimum of 3 minutes per hour. There's also when you get 55% of the ad revenue instead of 30. So from the little amount of ad that you have to watch, like once you're busy for half an hour, you know, or I decide to play it, but generally once we're busy for half an hour, an ad, like a 30-second ad starts playing, and then an hour later a 30-second ad starts playing. But it's just, yeah, I get 30% of that ad revenue, which often is 1 or 2 cents per stream. So it is nothing, so yeah, but if I cannot opt out of the ads, which is sad because I'd love to just opt out of the entire advertisements.
Well, corporate greed.
I guess capitalism, yeah. I mean, what am I gonna do about capitalism on my own? I mean, I can at least
take over the world and get rid of it, I guess.
I can at least try and make an effort by running as little ads as possible.
Here's my problem, though. I can see why people feel that capitalism sucks, but communism is absolutely worse in every single way.
Every time was tried, which ended up, instead of being communism, over dictatorship.
Yeah.
Most famous example, the Soviet Union did started out as communist, but ended up basically as a dictatorship under Stalin.
Well,
It was not communism anymore, it was a dictatorship. You'd one.
but like, even if people say like, oh, but no, we'll if we do it correctly, then it's good. Like, no, it just isn't.
You still need some money because
Like we are doing a course right now that very few people relatively do.
yes.
And I don't think it's a weird motivation for, like, partially for that the fact that you just can earn more money with that because of it. Why would people do a course like ours if they might as well just, like, you know, do whatever else, something far simpler, and earn the same amount?
Yeah, I mean it is basically all just supply. If you, it all boils down to supply and demand, because how many people want this stuff and how many people can actually give the stuff.
Yeah.
The problem is we've started adding so much to it that it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like the US is really good at it with construction projects. They just keep adding middlemen to it, drastically increasing the price because, well, you're gonna have to hire another contractor, and you're gonna have to hire another one and another one and another one. Each one of them is going to put a little bit more on top of that budget that you had, because, well, not only do you have to pay for the supplies and the labor, you're also gonna get an entire different company involved, which has some rates. Now you're paying two companies, which is more money.
Mm-hmm.
And then that keeps happening until, yeah. It also results in delays because you have multiple companies trying to maneuver around each other and with each other, which often takes more time instead of one big company that can do everything in-house. So it's just a... Ooh, we do need to add oil to this. It is just... And also, scalpers are just the scum of the earth. Because they buy stuff and sell it at a higher price. The most famous example were the graphics cards, the PC parts during COVID. And it is happening again. A graphics card used to be, like when I bought mine, it was $500. But during the height of the chip shortage, and right now, that kind of performance that I have is gonna cost you $1,000 to $1,500. Price doubles or triples just because some people just said, well, I'm gonna buy almost all of them. Like, people are buying all of them immediately, like they're walking up to the shelves. They almost just scoop it into the shopping cart and just pay for everything and then sell them with a profit. Meaning that people that don't have such a big budget to take that into account are going to suffer. They're going to have to suffer with the fact that, well, they can say goodbye to their hopes and dreams of owning one. Because, well, the price is just going to be super high, so why bother? You're going to end up with a super budget build, and I speak from experience, playing games at a very low FPS is suffering. Like, I've played The Long Drive on my first laptop at 7 FPS. That's the performance I got out of that laptop. No graphics card, 4 gigabytes of RAM. It was crap. But I did it because, well, I did not have an alternative, and that's as far as I knew. Then you get something better. I got a better laptop. Now I could play the game with over 100 FPS. excellent. I can get more graphics as well, settings can go higher. And eventually I got this desktop, which works great still. Of course, I've said it, tomorrow it's just going to be completely bricked. That means I can get to buy stuff again. Also, building a PC.
Just don't look at the moon, it won't crash.
Yeah. Also, building a PC seems scary to begin with. Because you mess up one thing, your PC is gone. Or at least some expensive part can be gone. If you do stuff wrong. But you don't want to do stuff wrong.
Do you not get people to do that for you?
You can hire people, you can hire companies to build your PC. But
if you just go to some tech store website and you're like, hey, I want this part and this part and this part in it, can you do that? And then it's also their responsibility if they break something.
That is called buying a pre-built PC.
No, surely there's websites where you can
that
buy
is just,
and customize.
Yeah, you can get custom pre-built PCs. You just select the parts and you let the company make it, or you select a pre-existing model that the company has.
Yeah.
Where it's just the specs are already there. All you have to do is buy it, they send it to you, you get it.
Yeah.
It's plug and play.
What would be the difference between that and making it yourself?
Money. You often pay like 100 to 200 more for the pre-built version, just so somebody else can build it for you instead of you just screwing parts together, because most of it is either screwing or clicking stuff into place. With care, of course, because what you first have to do is, well, you have your motherboard, mainly, that is important. Be careful with that. What you do with your motherboard, you put on, you first, it is smart to first put everything except the graphics card onto the motherboard already. Things like let me just quickly flip this switch, by the way, and look at my speed. A little bit too high, I need to start slowing down. Like, just start putting on your RAM sticks, which they click into place. Maybe put your CPU is kind of sketchy because you have to put it in the right way and don't drop it. I did, but mine was fine. No bent pins. Everything was okay. All you have to do is just be careful enough, and then just make sure that everything goes in. Get yours. If you have an SSD that it mounts into your motherboard, then unscrew the one screw that secures it, slide it into position, screw the screw back in. That's installed. Put the CPU cooler on it if you're going air cooled. If you're going water cooled, then keep it off until you've put the entire motherboard with everything on it back into, or let's put it into your case. Screw it in place. Shit. Break. Almost had an accident. Don't do that. That was the wrong one. I wanted to do this one. I accidentally hit the throttle instead of the brake. I mean, after you've put the motherboard in the case, you can put the power supply into the case. You can basically put everything into your case and end with the graphics card.
What if you don't buy a case?
They need to mount stuff like a piece of cardboard or something.
No, I could do that. That's fine.
Make a cardboard case.
Dude, you know how cool you'd be if you just have like the best PC in the world, but you just like put it in a cardboard box.
You know what you People have done wall-mounted PCs where they just like a big plank of wood and you just mount your PC part to that.
That's actually kind of cool.
I mean, you also have desk computers where the computer's built into your desk. But those options are often quite expensive because they require custom fabrication.
That is cool until you want a new desk.
Yeah. Then it kind of sucks. But building your PC is not difficult. It's just a bunch of it's literally just screwing around. Or you could do what I did when we built my PC. That is follow a tutorial for that specific motherboard. Like just look up what motherboard you have, or just look at the packaging. Look up like a tutorial with that, maybe even with the specific case that you have for it. If you're feeling fancy and want to really know how to put it into that specific case. And then they've built your PC. Of course, you're doing your peripherals like a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse. If you're changing from a laptop and don't have you of course would have a mouse, but a keyboard is the thing to get. And also a monitor. Luckily I already had those two. I already had everything except one monitor, which meant all I had to do was order one extra monitor, because 2 is better than 1 by a lot. I kind of want to run more monitors, but I don't really have the space for it. And money, of course. Because one monitor is quickly 250 euros, and that's kind of expensive at the moment. You know, trying to save some money at least.
Also.
Yes.
Today/yesterday, I'm not really sure. I guess yeah, mostly yesterday, tonight, I don't know. It was Evil's birthday.
Oh boy, hold on. I have to take a quick look. Did I actually... No, I
just saw the flash.
Yeah, you wanna know what the flash indicated?
Electricity.
I was in reverse while moving forward, and then I tried to apply traction. It was not a lot of traction, but I tried to apply it. Now what that does is... boom. See, this is Olaf. I have the garage key for Olaf's garage. And then I unlock the thing. I mean, that is slowly moving forward anyway, so might as well unlock the DM1U, because this machine, in combination with the little car in the museum already, I'm gonna just combine those to make because those two are the only two cars that can actually handle the parts that I'm gonna need for these locomotives. Because I'm gonna have to order parts that I'm going to pick up at MF, the machine factory, and bring them back. You do that through the thing.
But yeah, it was Evil's birthday, and Vettel finally actually showed up on a birthday.
Ouch.
And she has her own model now. Like, she is not just a copy of her sister.
The lore just deepens every single time, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. She also has a bouncy castle. Because of course. That's about all I followed. I was working. I just had it in the background.
Also, I did turn in the first version of my drawings today.
Oh, nice.
They're going to be reviewed tomorrow, I think, or they're going to be reviewed today as well. Then I'm going to get feedback on them. I do the feedback. I send them back again. Then I'm going to have to then I'm going to have to scan everything into one big PDF. Because, yeah, and then I'm going to have to put that, or two big PDFs, like the versions. And then I'm going to have to turn that into a report.
Yep.
And, yeah. I think I'm done with like 6 reports now. I'm going to have to do, like, a lot more, but it takes time. And I was focusing on the drawings as well, so now we can... Tomorrow I can just do the reports the entire day. And if I do it right, I can be done with all of them. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. So I also got feedback today. I haven't actually looked at it yet. I was hoping you would send the other part today as well, but I don't know if that would still happen.
Oh, you mean for your story that you sent to our English teacher that we haven't had lessons for
exactly.
like a school
he actually
year?
is online currently, so maybe I don't know. Because it makes more sense to me to read the whole thing when he's done the full thing. I just expected him to just be like, oh yeah, you know, I like it, but like, you could do this or you could do that. I didn't expect him to just send me a copy of my story with like notes.
Yeah, so?
Like... Can I hire him as my editor whenever I actually try to publish a story?
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's as smart of an idea.
Why would it not be a smart idea?
I don't know. I guess it's just the cost. That gets out of when you actually hire an editor, because, well, you have to hire an editor.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to hire an editor. Actually, I think the editor has to be from the publisher, because they are also... I'm assuming they're also the ones that are like, hey, you can't do this.
Also, I realize I have a slight problem here.
Well,
I have this locomotive here, right?
yeah.
It needs to be pushed back all the way into a roof that leaked somehow. And it needs to be put... Where does it go? Here. It needs to go here.
You know what it needs? A paint job.
Yeah, it will get a paint job once it's fixed. But the turntable, even though it is long, it is not that long to fit all this on there.
No. So you give every wagon its own... Wait, they're not even wagons. They're just different machines.
Yeah, these are the demonstrator locomotives. Derail Valley has currently 6 trains. I hear wheel slip. Wait, what? Oh. Alright, we are rolling backwards into there now. I guess I'm gonna be pushing it all the way through. See how far I get. Because I can push this straight in, which means I can get rid of the DE6 in total. Like, I can push it all the way through to the back. And kind of slowly make it hit this end or stop it before it drives off. Maybe even be able to fit the DE6 behind it as well, because then I would be able to fit one of the DE2s in combination with the DH4 and the DM3. I know, like, people are thinking, what does that mean, all those names? I'm just naming the models of the train. Like, you have the In the front we have the S060 because it is steam. It has 0 pilot, 6 drive wheels, like 0 wheels behind, 0 trailing wheels. 060. Same goes for the S282, which has, well, it's steam. It has 2 pilot wheels. That is correct. 4 drive wheels and 2 trailing wheels. They have the DE6, which is diesel electric. It has 6 axles. You have the DH4, which is diesel hydraulic and has 4 axles. The DM3, which is diesel mechanical and has 3 axles. And then you have the DE2, which is diesel electric, 2 axles. It makes a lot of sense if you think about it that way. Let me connect this back up. Oh no, I fell in between. Oh, I forgot how long this one was. Why is this thing so long? I know it's Steam, but it's... Why is it so big? I also know that's what she said, but...
Because bigger is better.
Right, is it off the turntable? It is.
So you are from the Netherlands. You should understand the big dick energy.
I guess so. Alright, and now we have to...
For the people in your viewer base that want to understand that joke, go watch our podcast, the episode that's gonna release on Saturday.
Which I still have to upload, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine, as long as you do it on Saturday.
As long as I make sure it's scheduled before Saturday.
Yeah.
You're forgetting what time.
Is there a link to the podcast on your Twitch? Wait.
Not yet. But I can very easily make a command off the stream that if you do exclamation mark podcast, you get to the podcast. I can very easily do that. That is not a challenge. Right, when it...
Cause I just kinda linked it everywhere, honestly.
Turn this
I
off.
only gave it like one, only in one video do I actually talk about it, but like... No, it is linked. Oh, I still need to... Hold on.
Wait, what? Why did it roll backwards? Because you don't always have to do what the others do. I would like if my brain got off the turntable and stayed off the turntable. It just starts rolling back again. What is this?
That is a train.
I understand that, and I already got that far, but...
Well, but then that's all you need to know.
This one just doesn't want to stay off the bloody turntable. Where it belongs.
Then punish it.
I am trying to by applying the handbrake.
How the fuck do you punish a train?
Batteries get coal.
Do you... Do you spray water on it like it's a cat?
Oh, again.
Sonic is in your chat.
Hold on, I was trying to do something different. I'm gonna switch back from that because I don't really like it. I was trying to do the chat on OBS, but it's not big enough, honestly. Don't have enough screen, so we are going to report Sonic 281120 for spam, scam, bots, tampering. We're gonna go for scam. Go for a scam. Selling views. It is truthfully filled. Block him as well. We're gonna ban him. Problem solved.
We're safe.
For now.
For now.
Or they will be back. Wait, is this one? Yeah, this one is aiming that way as well. Yeah. We want to go and push this around.
Why don't you prematurely ban them?
Because how?
I don't know, by watching every stream in existence and checking where there's advertisements.
Well, for some reason it seems to be just my chat, or at least as far as I know.
Well, it's probably only on like smaller streamers.
Small
Like,
streamers that are
on the
more
big
likely.
ones, like on the big ones, you wouldn't even like notice it because they have a lot of chat.
A lot of chat, and often moderators that actually do their job.
Yeah. Oh no! Wait, I just noticed it.
What?
Vettel 987 Assassin's Creed Shadows. Hashtag ad. Why, Vettel? Why
He's a
would you
sellout.
submit yourself to this?
I mean, I've done some advertisements a while ago, but I've stopped doing them because, well, they didn't even earn me money.
Oh yeah, no, here I'm talking about because it's like, you know, because of the controversies around the game. And frankly, from what I've seen of the gameplay, which is granted isn't that much, but from what I've seen of it, I really can only just think, just play Sekiro. It has the assassinations, it has the actual cultural significance to Japan that this game wants to have.
Right, where is the DM3 parked? There. I mean, if you're gonna make a crappy game, just don't really push it, or try not to make too many, you know, controversies. I can vaguely remember that a certain game that has been rebooted and died again had a massive controversy regarding the behind of a character.
What game are you talking about?
Overwatch.
Oh. Dude, I remember that Stellar Blade got, like, really, like, it gained a lot of fame because it had, like, a pretty woman as a main character. Which isn't what gripped me about it when I saw it, by the way. The reason I wanted to play it was because I saw a parry system in the combat, and I heard biblical names, and I just thought, yep, that's for me.
Yeah,
but even now, there's people that are like, oh, they're like, what do you call it? Like thirst baiting, which, if you play the game, is honestly not the case. Like, yeah, they have these outfits, including swimsuits, but I don't know. The combat is the selling point to me.
Yeah, but not anybody. I think I have to go right there.
I guess.
Did I do that correctly? Yes, yes, I did.
There's also people that say that it's just a near automata clone, which, no.
People will say
I mean,
anything.
the setting is similar, but like, that's where that ends.
Well, it's just a thing with like Overwatch that they had a bunch of characters with again, just ass.
To be fair, that should be allowed. Like, if if you want to do that, then do that.
And I feel like many people know Overwatch not because of the game, but because of some more different type of content that you are not allowed to watch as a child or on YouTube. You will not find it here.
I may have seen some of that.
Did you specifically look for it, or did you just stumble upon it?
Why would I specifically look for Overwatch? I know nothing about that game other than what some of the characters look like.
That can be enough for some people.
I guess.
Like, I know how pathetic people can be. I mean, just look at Disney.
No, I did not look it up.
That's how bad it is.
I don't remember how I found it. I don't really want to be remembering how I found it.
I'm gonna have to put that. Ooh, but the thing is in the way. There's gonna be one train that's gonna be turned around. Sadly. Unless I pull a sneaky. Aha! I can fix this. I can fix this problem still. I can fix it. In a dumb way.
The Jules solution.
No, I have a turntable and I have to get to the other side of my locomotive to be able to push it in.
Can we make that a thing? Like in the Smash community, we have the Hopcat victory for when you win without deserving it. In this game, we can have the Jules solution.
No. Because then everything would be a Shul solution. Also, this is not even a Shul solution, just doing stuff with a turntable. Like, all I have
had one of those for like my little wooden train tracks for like Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
I had one
Oh
of
no,
those,
it's on the move. Hold on, my train is on the move.
I had one of those turntables.
It's barely on there.
I had like the turntable and then also the house. I don't know what you call it. The the building that they all live in.
The roundhouse, because it's around a turntable. Turntables are round, so you have a roundhouse.
Yeah, but actually, you like, unless you have multiple, if you only have one of those turntables, you should not connect it to the house because it really limits what you can do for the rest of your track.
No. No. It rolled too far forward. You know what?
Why did that work?
That's what we call a shield solution. You just... That's a shield solution if I've ever seen one.
Are they merging? No, okay.
I just connected them.
Yeah, no, for a moment it seemed like they were clipping into each other.
Why is the brake thing blinking? Oh, that's why it's blinking. Alright, now I can confidently push this onto the turntable, apply a lot of brake, and then twist it around in such a way that I can just push it back in. Whee! Right, I think it's this one? No, it's not this one. This one is... No, it's one over. I say as I have to cough because, well, my throat still isn't what it's supposed to be. But my voice is there, so... Might as well stream, you know?
Again, I can do the talking for you.
I won't let you.
Again, what's the worst I could do? I promise I won't read I won't read the you know.
Because I don't know what you will do.
I can tell more Greek stories.
You have your own channel. Go stream on that.
No, but it's kind of become a thing for me to do that on your channel whenever
whenever I have
you are
to
not
go.
there. Yeah. I just start talking about random Greek stories.
But also, you have your own channel. If only you could stream.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
only.
Dude, can you tell your fans to all follow me and donate money so I can buy a better internet connection?
You get money from the government.
They don't need to know that.
Also, if they're gonna be spending money, they might as well spend it on who they're actually watching.
Yeah, true. I suppose I have like 150 subscribers on YouTube.
How many on Twitch?
Well, I don't have any subscribers because that's not a thing for me.
I have
but
one.
Followers? I don't know how many followers I have actually. Wait.
I have one subscriber. And I already know who that is. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
It still counts.
How many do I have?
Right. Back it up.
I have 18. 18 followers.
Yeah, last time I checked I had 86.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the follower goal doesn't really... The follower goal that you can see on screen isn't really correct.
Empower viewers to share your clips. Turn on this so let viewers directly post clips to your channel from Twitch to their TikTok and YouTube. So you can reach new viewers without less effort. How many people would just abuse this to pretend like they made the content? Like...
I suspect a bunch.
Like, why would I share a clip that someone else made on my channel unless I want to grow popular on their popularity?
Right, I'm gonna be kicking this one backwards as
No,
well.
thank you. Disable that setting. Suggested channels. I've seen him play. If you go to my channel, it will just recommend your stream. Oh, probably because I have you like linked on my channel. But I have 18 followers apparently.
Yeah, but you haven't been streaming in like what, a year almost?
All of which have gotten a message at one point that I was streaming Chef Showdown when I accidentally hit stream on OBS.
There we go. That is parked. Now we're gonna have to push it back to get the steam engine in.
Why was that my last stream? The fucking Chef Showdown.
Because I accidentally pressed it and you haven't tried streaming again.
I haven't tried it because I know my internet has not improved enough to do that.
Then get better internet.
I've tried. My parents just don't do it.
Then do it yourself.
I don't have the account.
Who says you're taking over the account of your parents? Just get your own Wi-Fi network.
Can I do that?
Probably. Get your...
We need a second router.
Yeah, you probably would get one. You can set it up in your room, like directly next to your laptop.
Wouldn't it need an Ethernet cable?
Wait. Do you have fiber in your house? Did they lay those cables already?
Actually, we might. Well, we definitely we don't, but there might be a cable for it.
Because the cable, because that's what they did at our place at least. They put the the cable first. They installed in the street, then they went house to house, putting it inside the house.
Well,
but we don't have it either.
So I think when they did the when they moved the water system, I think they did also install new cables for everyone, but I don't know if they're actually linked to the houses unless you paid for that.
Well, I don't think we paid for it either, but it's
one in the street.
Yeah, but there's also a chance that they might have actually
What if I just, without notifying my parents, I just hire them to come put a cable? And then just tell them on the day, like, oh, by the way, Mom, they're gonna break open the floor because I ordered a cable.
They're gonna break open the floor because I want better Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I moved your car because they needed space.
Well, you can do that.
Yeah, I can. But doesn't a router need Ethernet, like an Ethernet cable?
I think it does need like an entrance somewhere, but
yeah, so that's a problem because I don't have one in my room. Unless I put my personal router that I would not give the others access to in my, just right next to our current one.
Where is
Can I connect them? Can I
like piggybacking one of the other
Can I pull an Ethernet cable from our current one to a new one?
Probably could. I'm trying to find where the pull is for.
Oh, that would be so stupid. Dude, and I can be, if my brothers then want to use that, or my parents, because they feel like their internet's too slow, I could just ask them money to use my internet.
Yeah.
Dude, this is genius. I won't have to work at all. I can just charge my parents.
Or Wi-Fi. They'll either get mad at you, or they'll just realize that they are powerless in that position.
I've solved capitalism, Jules. Just charge your parents money for shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be that scummy. Well, technically, I am charging my dad some money.
Yeah, so you're.
But that's alimony. So that's alimony. That's just legal. Which he still has to pay. Because he hasn't paid me yet, but He legally has to. So it's going to be fun and interesting to see if he does it and when he does it. Because my dad is known for not really paying his stuff. Like, just, he is owing me alimony till I'm 21. So until then, right, those are all stopped. We're gonna have to service this. So until they are, like, wait, when? I'm gonna have to pull this way. So yeah, if my dad is not going to pay alimony, then that's gonna be, I'm gonna make his life miserable. Because usually I don't have a reason to do that, so I won't do it. No, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Would you attack him with the motorized wheelchair?
Nobody will need it.
Would you give him one with a motor or with a really heavy brake that he can't remove?
Depends on how little he has paid. I'm gonna have to slow down for this one.
Or you give him a motor, but you have the remote.
That works the other way of how the boat is now. He has all the things to start and move and do everything with the boat. But I'm the one that has to empty it out of water every single time.
Why?
Because he's in Spain and I'm the only one that can easily go in.
Well, you can also just not do it.
Then the boat sinks, but it's also half my mom's boat, so...
Oh.
Yeah. But technically the divorce now officially finalized, so...
I mean, you can hire people.
Yeah, I'm not spending money on that.
No, you can charge your father.
He's not paying for that. Like, he should have been paying me to empty the boat to begin with. And he wasn't doing that either.
What if you tell him you will get a cookie?
He won't fall for that.
Aw. I don't know, he sounds... mentally...
Challenged?
mentally child enough to fall for it.
We'll see. I mean, it was coming with a divorce. You do have to choose between your parents, but when we're gonna get our diploma, we're gonna have to know how many people we get to have. Right. How many people are going to be there, and how many people are allowed, all that kind of thing. That kind of thing. The thing is, with that, is that I'm gonna have to choose between either my mom or my dad.
Right. That I cannot imagine what you will choose.
Yeah. Who will I choose? A loving parent or one that eventually escaped to Spain?
What if you choose neither?
Just, I take nobody.
Just choose to live in an orphanage instead.
Sounds like too much.
Still exist.
Sounds like too much work, though.
How is that too much work? Isn't the point of an orphanage that they do that for you?
No, not going to an orphanage, but going to the orphanage part sounds like a lot of work. when it's much easier to just say, "Hey, I'll just
But
not invite one of them and just deal with it."
but do orphanages still exist?
I think so. I mean, there are orphans, right?
Well, yeah, but I don't think I've ever seen like a modern orphanage.
Wait, how many? This is 360 tons on flat ground. I'm not gonna be wasting resources of one engine.
Like you always see orphanages just like in fiction being horrible places.
Yeah.
In like the Victorian era. Or in the like the 20s. I don't think I've ever seen orphanages anywhere else.
Me neither. But I'm sure they exist.
Yeah, they must. Hold on. Let's look that up. What's an orphanage in Dutch?
Weeshuis. How do you not
See,
know
that's
Dutch?
I did know that. I forget.
How long?
Oh, friendly in Gouda.
Eh.
Oh, there's a Protestant one close to here.
You're to me because there's a slight difference in those locations.
Kind of in the middle,
Ah.
I think. Oh, I'm stupid. It's literally in Hoorn.
Huh.
But for some reason, Hoorn is just not on the map. Like, it has every single other name, just not Hoorn.
Yeah, makes sense. It's not really a significant place.
I can see smaller places on it.
I guess.
But there's one, although it's classified as a school, but I guess it would not be weird if it's both. Where is this?
Come on, I realized something.
I don't even know where this is.
I just realized something.
Yeah.
NVIDIA broadcast and OBS don't like to cooperate.
No.
My camera froze again.
Oh. I don't know where this. Hold on. Where's like the station or something? I really. Oh, okay. There's the. Okay, I see.
Is it close or far from the train
okay.
station?
I get it. Hmm?
Is it close or far from the train station?
Oh, it's Hoorn. Nothing is that far from the station. It's like on the edge of like the center.
North, south, east, west.
And with center, I don't mean the literal center, but like the, you know, binnenstad.
Within like the ring road around it.
Well, there's not really a ring road because there's the ocean.
It's not an ocean. It's just.
That's not an ocean. It's a lake, but.
Yeah, but is it near the lake or is it near?
Yeah. Hold on. How do I explain where this is?
You could just show me after the stream. I'm just eating chips because I'm waiting for my train to back up.
It's like it's close to where there's like the canal that goes like through there.
I'm not that familiar with the location.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't really. I mean, I go there basically daily for intern, but I go the other way.
It's kind of close to. Oh, there's the station. Yeah, so it is pretty close to the station and to like the museum, like the Steam museum.
Is it on the side? Is it on the side of the city center or on the museum side?
The side of the center.
Yeah, I'm going the other way. I'm going.
Yeah, I know. But it's not that far the other way. But what about other orphanages? What other orphanage do we have in the Netherlands?
What are you gonna do? Adopt one?
Why can't this map just zoom out normally? Thank you. Okay. What is
Also,
that?
technically, we
Oh,
can
that's not a, okay.
we can adopt a 17-year-old.
Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Okay, I have some good news for you.
What?
There's a snack bar called Het Weeshuis.
Ah. So I can get my snacks.
There's one without reviews.
Oh wait, I've already actioned on my report. What is the time frame? I want to know. 2 minutes. Twitch was fast today.
Wait, hold up, is that in Medemblik? There's one in Medemblik? Since when is that?
The place you can only reach if you want to go with public transport. You can only reach it with a steam train.
Oh, I know what that is, but I don't think that one's used anymore. That's like the historical building. Oh no, it's not. Huh? Wait.
It was at this moment he realized that there was more to small cities. Or towns.
No, I thought I knew pretty much everything about that place because I come there a lot, and I've come there a lot my whole life because my grandma lived there.
That makes sense.
And the place is not that big, you know.
No, but it's bigger than where you live. You live. The place where you live is legit just a couple of streets.
True. To be fair though, that's most places.
Not where I live. We have an actual city center.
I know, but it's still most places.
And we beat the Spanish by just flooding.
So there's the castle, there's the war museum.
Wait, you have a war museum there?
Yeah, we do. It's pretty cool.
Which war, though? Probably the second.
Second.
Second World War, of course.
They have like a whole bunch of, cause like, Minimag was very important in World War II.
I mean, it's near water, so...
Yeah. Another funny thing, there's the castle in Minimag, Castle Rotbout. It was made by Flores II, I think. Yeah, from Spain, to like keep an eye on us. Because he didn't trust the Dutch.
Understandable.
But that castle in the Second World War, literally the Dutch were afraid that the Germans would steal or destroy like the Nachtwacht.
Yeah.
So they hid it in Castle Rotbout in Medemblik. I don't know why.
No one is famous Spain to get hurt. I guess we'll hide it in the middle of nowhere.
What's that painting called? Is it just like the night, like the night? What's it called? The night guard?
Look it up. Google exists.
Well, I'm assuming it's not just called the Night Watch, right? It's actually called the Night Watch. Okay.
The Night Wait.
No, not the Night Wait.
That is direct translation.
Back to this orphanage. Where is this? I don't get it. So wait. Okay, so that's the main street, and then no, that is the Huh? Is that not the historic building? Where's that one church?
Also, what I've noticed throughout, especially around where you live, and which is like very small places, and things like Rotterdam, Amsterdam, The Hague, you know, Randstad, the big cities, is the culture difference is massive.
Yeah, I know.
The culture difference around where you live is incredibly conservative. It is just the most, yeah, the most basic. You barely leave a small town, and yeah.
Okay, I found where it is. So there's the old orphanage that's not used anymore, and they just built this one across from it.
Huh.
And it's much smaller.
Yeah. But I mean, like the culture around like the big cities, it is a lot more international, a lot more inclusive. It is just overall
Yeah.
an
Well, it's
entirely different atmosphere that you get from like Amsterdam. Of course, is a bit of an outlier, but it's
well, I've
still,
been in actually like in Medemblik.
I think maybe like once or twice in my life.
Yeah, because it's actually pretty like culturally significant. Like there's a lot of tourism. And of course, it was like as in our history, it was very important because it was on the water, which just automatically made you important as a city.
Me, yeah. But the city where I live in also has decent, has some historical importance. Although a lot more earlier, more with, you know, the Spanish War that lasted 80 years and they still failed because they're weak.
Yes, they lose to some people on ice skates.
They're losing to the wooden shoes and windmill people.
Yeah. No, dude, those windmill. If you ever been smacked in the head by one, like. So we are engineers. We should weaponize windmills.
Oh.
What would that do? I have no idea. Maybe if it rotates fast enough, it can like blow airplanes out of course or something.
Yeah, but then you're just gonna learn to not go into the flow of it.
Well, at least the first time you would like slow them down slightly until they figure out how to fly to the left.
B4S needs to be occupied with all these cars, but they're empty now, so they should be a lot lighter. So as soon as I get off the brake and onto the throttle, I should move a lot quicker than I did before. But I mean, the city where I live in, it is, well, the city center is quite, in my opinion, quite small. Of course, for some people it's still big, but eh. But if you look at if you look at like the rest of it, like we literally have part of it has the same name, but just has this north behind it because it is kind of the northern part, which is once again entirely different from the actual historical city center, which all it does is have like shopping. There's not a lot. There's just like, well, here you have some shops, you have some food. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can agree with that. There's good food. There's some good restaurants here.
There's good restaurants everywhere.
Yeah, I guess. I I, 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 Yeah, but like I've been to Delft like a bunch of times. It is an entirely different atmosphere there. There are also a lot more students there, so you're gonna get like some of that culture mixed within as well, which means you're gonna have a lot more younger people as opposed to these smaller cities and towns with a lot more older people because yeah. And then you end up with an entirely different, I guess that's why it's a bit more conservative around where you live, just purely because there are like less young people living there.
Actually, there is a good amount, but they're all just fucking idiots, honestly.
Yeah, because the only thing you know is drink alcoholic beverage
No, I don't
and
think it's
do
even
a sport.
that. But like, you know how I work at a pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen shit, man.
How bad? Give an example. How bad was the shit?
Okay, so probably the stupidest time is when at one evening people had broken into the pool, right? Like they climbed over the fence to swim at night. And then so first up they had told one of the people that worked there that they were gonna do that.
That's already dumb.
Yeah. But okay. And then that morning we found a wallet
Oh no.
with an ID and everything in it. And so obviously we gave it to like the police. And then the guy came in to like get his wallet. And he was like, "Yeah, I forgot it yesterday." And we were just like, "Mate, well, not yesterday. I don't know what day he said, but I just remember that whatever day he said, I also worked on that day and I had not seen him."
Oh, that's just...
And where we found it, it was so obvious. Like, you could not have forgotten it there. Like, just... I don't know, man. So, just...
I guess they're all trying to continuously prove themselves to each other to get that tiniest little bit of validation
Yeah, I don't know.
and acceptance.
It was just very funny.
Like, I've seen a really bad example of somebody trying to fit in, which was like during primary school, a classmate that was new who had some physical disabilities, like his head was tilted and he was missing a couple of fingers, all from like I think from birth, but the way he tried to fit in was just like drawing a mustache on his own face, all in an attempt to be funny and fit in with the rest of the school, which
And that didn't work?
no, it didn't. Well, it works in one way. It works in them seeing you as easy pickings because, well, you try to fit in. And it was, he even tried it through like secondary school. After a couple of years, he went to the same one where I went to, and it was just kind of bad. Like, it is not that difficult to just be yourself. And of course, it depends on what you've done throughout all of your life. Because if you only know one thing, then how can you do the other? But there's still a little bit of a weird thing with like trying so desperately and then failing. It's sometimes just painful. Oh, the track is completely clear. Whoops. Yeah, I guess the people around where you live are just trying to like prove themselves that they are cool, that they fit in, that they are interesting. Which results in those... Wait, were the ones that broke in? Were they adults or were they...
Yes. But the children are not that much, like, better.
So there might have been...
Okay, that's not fair to say, because, like, you know, the majority, of course, is. But, just, like... It's this thing where there's, like, 3 that are, like, a problem. But if they are there, then the whole group becomes a problem.
Yes, because that's peer pressure. And teens are notorious for suffering from peer pressure.
It's so funny to talk to them one-to-one. Because they are such pussies. Like, I never use that word. But that's the only way I can describe them. I have rarely seen, like, bigger losers than them.
That's with a lot of people. Like, they know that together they can do shit, but if you pick them off one by one, they immediately collapse. They become almost like completely silent because they don't know what to do. I guess they're just so used to being with people that they're not used to being alone. Which I would imagine is a good problem to have.
If you're like them, no.
No, but like having company.
Oh. I wouldn't know.
Well, you had forced company.
Yeah, I did. So I guess I kind of know.
Which, I mean, it is necessary to socialize. So you don't end up with a severe lack of social skills. Although for me, I don't think it has worked. Considering I have the social skills of a potato. I put it in forward, turn the engine on again, and start moving forward.
You know, now that I think about it, maybe the fact that I was often alone... Well, I wasn't even often alone, per se. Because, like... What you said of, like the forced socialized thing... That was because, you know, during breaks at school, no one, like, played with me, because they were all playing soccer. But I had a lot of friends that I played with, like, after school.
Yeah, so then the problem...
Yeah.
There isn't really a problem there, it's just that at school you don't really fit in with the group. But of course you have to fit in with everybody. Or at least with somebody.
No, I didn't care.
Because, like, I can get that schools are trying to make sure that at least everybody has somebody, so you don't get singled out. So you don't get the problem I had at some point during secondary school where every time we had to do like projects in groups of 2, I was the one who could go to the teacher and say, I don't have anybody. How are we gonna solve this problem? This problem has been going on for the entire school year. How hasn't this been solved yet? It surprised
But
me.
even though I never really felt bothered when I was alone, like, I mean, it was kind of weird because like when no one played with me on the playground, like it was more like it felt awkward to me because it was like, not because I necessarily felt lonely. It was more like, wait, all the others are like playing. What should I be doing now? Right? That was
Yeah.
kind of the thing for me. But now that I think about it, it may still have had some kind of impact because like every story that I wrote or is in my head is like has some kind of like some form of somebody being isolated and then getting company.
Yeah, so I guess it did have an effect on you.
Maybe it did. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just fucked up. Maybe that's just the only way something can be wholesome to me.
But the question is,
If
who
they
isn't?
suffer first.
The question is, who isn't fucked up at this point? I saw on Reddit a post of some, I think, I don't know if it was Tumblr or something, or another platform or something. I don't really care about that. But it was like somebody talking about having one or two bad parents, and then somebody put underneath it that they never had a parent scream at them, and then somebody reacted to that with lucky.
I mean, I guess.
Which, I mean, screaming at your children is not. I mean, if it's necessary, it's necessary. If they've done if there is otherwise too much noise for them to hear you, then yes. But otherwise, things are easily solvable with just a normal conversation. Doesn't even have to result in punishment. Just have a good conversation about it. That generally solves a lot of problems already.
Yeah.
And also, you know, you had kind of weird parents. Don't want to say bad. If they reacted bad to, let's say, you dropping something. Like, that's a really good example to test how good your parents are. Or how good they were. How they would react to you dropping something, like you were trying to put a glass of water on the table and you accidentally dropped it. Like, how would your parents react to that? That is a really good measure.
My parents are really fucking good because I once dropped an entire, like, it's like a little sort of shelf thing on the wall, and there was like a whole bunch of pretty reasonably expensive, like little, like, what do you call it? Like little plates and like cups and stuff. They were all like stone, and I like accidentally and when I had to go to school and I was in a hurry, I like hit it, and it all dropped to the ground. And my mother was just like, "Well, too bad."
Yeah, I mean, there's often a difference between the two parents. Like if it were to drop something or knocks over a glass of water while at dinner because you're trying to reach for the ketchup. Like, my mom would be like, oh, let's just clean it up and just continue eating. My dad would get mad. Which does show a difference. And it also explains some of my behavior, I guess. And my unwillingness to confront people. Unless it's just like absolutely time to confront them, then I'll go all out, but I usually try and avoid conflict quite heavily. To the point where I really avoid making phone calls.
Yeah, maybe you should make more phone calls.
Yeah, but if it can be solved with an email or a text, then it's a lot quicker. Because I could just send out an email and
No, it's
continue on
not
my...
quicker.
Well, that's a lot more
That's the whole point
convenient
of a
because...
phone call.
It is a lot more convenient because you send out an email and continue on your... with your day. And then you get email back. It is also in writing, which means that if the problem were to arise again, or you have to double check it, you can easily do that by looking at the text or email instead of, you know, having to call back.
I mean, sure. You could also just like write it down. Because in the end, a phone call is still faster.
Yeah, you do get, like, if you just have to like get a meeting set up, then yeah, because all you do is just like when, then, okay, bye.
Not just for meetings, also if you have to just like get something, like get some kind of confirmation for maybe for like an intern or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It could have been solved already with emails, but companies were just saying no. Like my first internship was like one email to get it started, and then it was just a couple of them to like set up first like to meet up and take a look at the company, and then it was already done. There was just a couple of emails. But yeah. I know I should work on it, and also just asking questions in general. Because, like, they've said that multiple times during this internship that I don't really ask any questions. I just do my
You're
work.
just that good.
I don't want to say that, but I just don't really ask any questions. I just do what I need to do. Which makes sense to me, but apparently for some people is weird. So apparently not bothering people bothers people.
Yes, because it can seem like you're not like motivated.
Yeah, I guess. I do have to admit, during this internship I haven't been the most motivated, but that has nothing to do with the, well, there's some to do with the company. The fact that they merged and then made a mess of the logistics where we didn't even know where we had to order our soup. Or like anything else, like where do we go? So yeah, that problem is, everything's now a bit solved and they're starting to gain traction again, but it took like a couple of months to solve it. And in that time somebody has left. Like the office is getting emptier and emptier, which is weird to see. Because there weren't a lot of people in the office already. We had like, let's see, we started with like 5 or 6. And now we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. With me included, 6 people in total working in the office. Which is kind of pathetic if you think about it. Like just 6 people in one pretty big office even. Like, we can easily house more people, but we just...
Actually, I have some funny stuff about my intern. Because apparently, we occasionally get emails from people or companies. They're like, "Hey, we have like a channel, and you know, like the water like circles. Can't you
Yeah.
put like I don't know what you would call it in English, but like you can put a pump, but you also
Like,
do pretty much the opposite, where the water will push it and then create electricity.
like a generator. You want to
Yes,
basically make a
kind of.
turbine.
Yes, and they are like, hey, we have this water that just kind of goes in a circle. Can't you put that? And it's like, no, that's not how that works. That wouldn't do anything because there's no, you know, unless you can make that like staircase that MC Escher drew, where like the water flows up into a waterfall. You cannot make electricity from that.
You would have to design a pump because a pump pushes. If you...
Yeah. No. You can make electricity from that, but not if your situation is that you just have basically a pond. There's not
enough flow.
No.
You pretty much, if you're gonna have that much, if you want to put a turbine somewhere, you're gonna need a lot of water. That's why I pretty much only see them at dams where they push
Yeah.
a metric fuck ton of water through it.
Yeah. But now we also have another client. And we don't just provide pumps, right? We also have fish, stuff to basically scare off fish so that they don't get near stuff.
Yeah.
And this company wants to order that because, and this is where the stupid comes in. They are changing one of their existing pumps. Now, the reason you want to scare off fish is because that pump is not fish friendly. Like fish can't just go through that without dying, right?
Bleeds.
So why didn't you just order one of our pumps that is fish friendly?
Just so they go to the company that makes fish friendly pumps.
Yeah,
To ask
but no,
for...
they order the new pump somewhere else and then ask us to just prevent the fish from what the hell is this?
What?
What? Why?
Why what? What, why, when, what?
Why would they not, if you're gonna spend the money to
Oh,
get
you're
a
still with
pump?
that.
Yes.
Yeah, if you... It is dumb. It is just... Instead of spending the money on just the pump and then going to the company that makes fish-friendly pumps, asking how can we make this pump fish-friendly?
Yeah.
You go to the company that makes the fish-friendly pump itself and you basically say, one fish-friendly pump, please, according to these specifications. And you give them some money as well. Then the company is like, thank you for the money, thank you for the work. We are gonna put like a couple of engineers on it. The engineers do their work. They provide you with the product. You are happy, they are happy. Everybody can go on. You are not suffering from dead fish. You are happy, everybody's happy. Engineer makes a lot of money. Because that is true as well. Engineers, if like, I know today's economy is rough. And I worry about it as well. But as an engineer, you basically don't have to worry about that anymore. Because for some reason there's so much ask for engineers. Just people that can make technical drawings. Even. People that can make 3D models. That have the knowledge of certain things. Like I can earn
I looked up what our minimum wage thing is, because like every sector has their own. You know, you have
yeah,
like minimum wage, but then there's another sort of form of that where it's like if you have certain classifications, then you know you have to be paid at least that.
yeah,
And from what I can gather, ours is first up gonna go up by like 7% next year,
nice.
and second, it's like I think it was between 2,000 and 3,500 a month.
Before or after tax? I think that's
I think after. Might be before. I'm not sure.
because when I looked it up, I was seeing numbers like 33 to 4,000 a month before tax. Which
Right.
that is
Then
that is, but they're becoming like project managers and all that stuff.
yeah.
Stuff that I'm not planning to become because I kind of just want to be
No.
the guy that makes the
Yeah.
3D models.
Yeah.
Please don't overshoot. Please don't overshoot. We're overshooting.
I just have to think of the clip of Randy Feldface being like, "You're a project manager. Just any project, just give it to me and I'll manage it."
Yeah, and then they mess it up quite bad, and then they have to get somebody competent in there that can actually solve the problem.
Is Kevin also a project you've been managing?
Just casually asking about a boyfriend, or was it a man already? Was it her man already?
I don't know.
Or did they do the marrying, or did they not do the marrying just yet?
I don't know. It was like some people in the audience.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing with engineering, right? All you have to do is, and this is as far as I understand, if you want to do actual design, you think, all right, this needs to go somewhere. Let's see if there are any standards for it. Very high chance that there are standards for it. There's a standard for everything. Then you just take a look at said standard. Then you apply said standard to the design.
Anyway, I'm gonna read the feedback. I don't think he's gonna react some more today.
Probably at school.
Maybe.
Probably because he's...
Like, how do you even see? Oh, there's just little things. Okay.
Alright, I think that is
But does he
enough.
mean comma instead of dot? I put dots intentionally that like signify trailing thoughts.
I guess flow of the story.
Yeah, maybe.
I would trust the English teacher. They actually study for it.
No, yeah, no, I do see what you mean. Maybe it would have made more sense.
Like, they actually studied for it. Alright, I'm just gonna have to get to the loading track because these are all full.
Dude, was he a writer at some point?
Why?
Just with the amount of feedback he's given, holy shit, there's a lot here. How is that a spelling error? Wait, is word just not wording? Doesn't Word have like autocorrect? It doesn't say this is wrong. Hold on. Intent with a D. Intent with a T. Oh, that's why. Okay, they are two different words. I didn't know that. I thought, okay. Where's
So, two words with different spelling mean different things.
Well, I didn't even know you.
Big
Like,
reveal.
I thought there was only one form of this. But okay, that's fair.
I did that order, which is 10k. Oh, alright. Alright, this is not really in the mood for shunting. I said not in the mood for... Ooh, wait, hold on. That's 50k. That's 3 pickups. It's really annoying. This is City West. This is the Machine Factory. Don't want to go to Forest Central. There's nothing there. Again, City West. Steel mill. Shunting. More shunting. Logistical holes are kind of useless, but they're good if you're near tonnage and you want to actually get to the tonnage. That's the job I just did. Is Oil Well North. Machine Factory, more shunting. Farm. Forest South is useless as well. That is the goods factory. This is another shunt, and this is Machine Factory again. Alright, we have options here. The biggest moneymaker would be City West, which is a matter of climb the hill, go down here, and go to City West. Because I don't have a lot of money. Wait, let's actually first see what kind of locomotive we have, because I'm not going to use the DE2. Should probably then bring that back to... Nah, I'm just going to pay the $2,000 to service it. I know I could do it for cheaper if I actually bring it in, but I'm too lazy to do that. There is a DE6. Right, we have our options here. We have Big Diesel, which can definitely pull it. We have Big Steam, which can pull it, but might be a little bit more difficult to control. We have Small Steam, which will not do it, and we have smaller Diesel, which will definitely not do it either. So we have our choices. Diesel or Steam. Steam is cheaper, but we're going to a place that doesn't have coal. And a diesel is just a lot easier to run, considering we're going to be running at like 800 tons. Actually, it's going to depend on the weather forecasts. And also the weather here in the Netherlands has been in a weird place. It is a type of weather where it's cold in the morning, so you put a coat on. But as soon as you've been outside for more than 5 minutes, you're already sweating your ass off. Oh wait, these are, of course, those are more hazmat. There's rain forecast, like right now, I think. Clock. Yeah, there's rain forecast directly, so we are grabbing diesel for this. Also, I'm paying the 2.5 grand. I like to stay on top of my fees. Diesel, gas, mainly gasoline, but also some diesel. Probably going to be in the E yard, if I had to take a guess. Also, might be a funny time to look into the shop. See if I want anything from there, considering I have the demonstrators parked up. I have the demonstrators. What do we have? We have Steve's garage key, which I'm gonna buy. Steve's garage key. There we go. Now we have my 2 garage keys again, which I'm gonna use to get the caboose. And the slug. And I guess the battery electric 2, which is very... Or do I have that one already? Let me go to work train. I can... Yeah. Hand car time. I don't want to derail the hand car. Oh, come on. Whee! Oh well. I have to do it. It is too much fun to derail that. There we go. My throat is starting to dry out a little bit. I think I took a look at every single place, so the DE2 is somewhere in between stations. Right, so E10 is probably going to be one because it's an outbound load. Needs to be either 03 or 11. I found a long one. I found 11, and now I have to find 03, which might actually be over here. No, that's 72. Oh, 03. But once again, I'm going to def myself on Discord real quick. I'm gonna pull a cliffhanger once again, because right before we're actually gonna do something, I am gonna end it here because of time. Because I do have to wake up early tomorrow, and yeah, intern continues. But yeah, so far what we have done, it is actually deliver the demonstrators and actually made some money instead of just suffering. Finally a profit. Yeah, if you like what you saw and want to see more, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, whatever. Just I'm also open to feedback to make sure that if you want to see me improve, because I would like some improvement or some tips and tricks. I'm always open to those. And if you want to have a chat with me or just know when things are delayed, cancel, and all that stuff, you can join the Discord, which you can already see down here. This little piece of text here that's down here that says join the Discord. You can find that just in channel subscriptions or !Discord. So yeah, next stream will be on Friday. It will be Stormworks, more sales, or me trying to make a boat with a modular engine that does high speed. Very high speed. Too high of a speed. But we'll see. So I guess I'll see everybody in a couple of days. Hope those couple of days are very pleasant, and good morning, evening, afternoon, or night, or just goodbye.